Hey guys, if you're listening to this on our YouTube channel or our SoundCloud account, I want to let you know that this is actually about a week late. We actually recorded this the previous Sunday and we released it today because we wanted to wait until it was public on the Crunchyroll, Rooster Teeth, and YouTube pages for the official sources. And also because we want to post this up a week early for our Patreon users. So if you want to check out our RWBY reviews the day after the episode actually drops for first members or premium Verve holders, then come check them out on our Patreon. Become a patron, Fairy Tale Podcast on Patreon, or just simply patreon.com/fairytalepodcast. On with the review. Oh, hi guys, it's Richie here again. I'm here with Walker Hembry.
Ew.
The famous Walker. He is known far and wide for his D&D playing, his alcoholism, and his chicken.
And my knowledge of RWBY, apparently.
And your knowledge of RWBY. That might be the reason that we're having you on these calls. I don't know.
Walker Hembry, the man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the chicken. It's like... Chicken? Did someone say chicken? I like chicken. Mm.
On a slightly off-topic note, I swear this will only take 2 seconds. I'm a little sad. My last D&D session, I was planning on having the barbarian do the funky chicken dance to intimidate someone, and my bard did not start playing the music, so I didn't get to do that.
Oh, that's very sad. I like funky chicken. That's very funny.
We're here to talk about RWBY episode 9. Oh my god, guys, it was great.
It was lit, fam.
So much Raven.
I hate myself so much for saying that, saying it was lit, fam. I hate myself.
My soul cringed.
If my soul could commit seppuku, it probably would have.
If my soul could preserve the
I'm going to
honor.
let you take the lead on this one. Go for it.
Okay, so RWBY episode 9 was titled, let me actually bring up my Verve account because I was watching it just, during my writing session I had a few minutes ago where I was writing for a novel. I was watching RWBY because I'm like, oh, RWBY's good.
Right? It's always good.
So, God, I'm really bad at keeping up with the names of these. It was called A Perfect Storm, which I thought was apt because, like, the movie The Perfect Storm is about two opposing stormfronts coming together and causing, like, this gigantic stormfront that wrecks everything. Which is basically the plot of the episode, as Raven's bandit clan teams up with Salem's forces out of an uneasy alliance. But skipping over the overgeneralization, getting right into the details.
She wants to kill Crow.
Yeah! If at any point you thought Raven might be a redeemable character, like, oh, maybe she does care about her family more than she does about the bandit clan, nope! No point!
So in Volume 4, we found out she's real Mom of the Year material, and now we find out she's Sister of the Decade.
And soon we'll find out that she's the Aunt of the Millennium in Volume 6.
Because, like, you'd think that she and Summer might have been friends at one point? She don't give a fuck about Summer's kid.
Yeah, like, Cinder's just like, I like that too, like, Watts is just like, if you're having this grudge match with a child, RWBY and all that, like, he says her by name. And Raven's just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, there's not even a fucking twitch of any emotion whatsoever from her.
She's just like, murdering a silver-eyed person, count me in.
So, I think by now we've all just come to the realization that Raven is a shitty person.
And that's going to come back to bite her, I feel, because the entire episode revolved around the good of the clan. Like, It's mentioned 4 times in the episode, like, Raven's like, I'm doing what's good for the clan, and then after their whole thing where they make the deal with Cinder, she's like, it's this is what's best for the clan. Then and then Vernal's like, okay, if it's for the good of the clan. And then fucking.
I feel like Raven is just making a lot of decisions out of fear. Like, she's afraid of Salem, and that's what a lot of her stuff is based on.
What a wuss.
Right?
This raises the question though, because Ozpin, like this is what I'm theorizing, because I do a lot of that apparently.
Mm-hmm.
If Raven gets betrayed and killed by Cinder, would her power to turn into a bird go back to Ozpin, or would it pass to the person she'd be thinking about next? So could, in theory, Yang turn into a bird?
I don't know if that magic carries over like the Maiden's powers, but that's an interesting idea.
Because I'd love to see Yang just be like, I'm a hawk now. Condor, motherfuckers.
No, maybe it's just a beast transformation, and she turns into a dragon.
Oh my god, that'd be cool. But no, like the whole.
I just want Yang to become a tiny dragon like in Mulan.
Just looks at Ruby. Dishonor on you! Dishonor on your cow! Dishonor on your family! And then it dawns on her. She's like, "Oh wait, I'm your family. Fuck." Dishonor
Also,
on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor on Blake's family.
They're continuing on with like their training or whatever, I want Yang to be in charge of the training, just so Yang can straight out say, "Let's get down to business."
To defeat Adam. Wait, but we're taking down the whole White Fang. No, we're not.
No, we're not. Going after one in particular.
Speaking of the White Fang, this episode also got us some. It was like a brief window into looking at Blake and all that, and
it was more about Gira.
Her dad. My God.
Big Daddy B.
I just like the fact that one dude tried to like shoot him, and he's just like, "No, not today."
Gira's holding his own, and I can't wait to see the tag match between Gira and Sun.
Against
That's going to be kind of
Finnick.
Awesome. Yeah, against Corsic and Finnick.
Because Corsic and Finnick complement each other very well, but Gira and Sun's styles are very different, and quite frankly, we haven't actually seen the shotgun nunchucks since Volume 1, so I'm wondering if like he's just been using it in staff mode this whole time, like if it's possible to... And I'm probably like forgetting, like at some point during the Dragon he used the shotgun nunchucks or some shit, but I honestly don't remember seeing it.
I didn't see him use it. I didn't see him use the nunchuck side of it.
I would love to see that, if he actually like broke it off into like the shotgun nunchucks and tossed Gira a pair, and they were just like both fucking slamming and jamming.
I mean, Sun straight out is the Monkey King, so... It would not surprise me at all. I would love to see those come out. Like, I want to see, forgive the pun here, but I want to see Sun shine. Like, I want to see him get his moment to actually shine and look awesome in front of Gira, and Gira be like, "Okay, you're kind of worthy of my daughter now."
Yeah, because he's been like shit on for like 3 volumes now. Like Volume 2 got knocked out almost instantly. Volume 3 he had his one moment in the fight, but other than that it wasn't really, he just kind of got slammed around. Volume 4
is fairly capable. So
yeah, he better get his shining moment in Volume 5.
Volume 4 he had that good fight against the water dragon Grim.
And then Ilya just took him out in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, that was just kind of... Sometimes I worry about, like, the writing going on, because I'm like, is the character strong or not? What are we doing here? I get that you're raising the stakes, but, like, you can't raise the stakes and yet make the character seem weaker. They have to at least appear to be at the same level that they were, or at least a little bit higher if they've been training. And I'm really done with Sun just being the comic relief character. Like, I want to see him actually show that he is a capable fighter.
Oh my god!
Like we got to
Sun
see in Volume 1.
Jean.
He has, in a way, he's very much become Jean-like in the fact that he's been more comic relief than action, whereas Jean has become a lot more serious.
But getting off the trail of Sun, I think, like, while the episode focused on Raven, my real props gotta go out to Jessica Negri's performance on Cinder. Like, holy crap. The voice acting has definitely changed since the earlier volumes.
I also like seeing Raven talking crap to the group and, like, calling out everybody on their own, like, personality quirks and everything, and Watts just being like, yeah, by the way, I was actually a doctor as well. But other than that, I mean, you got everybody spot on. I'm just like fucking Watts, man. I love Watts.
Watts is,
He's
yeah,
so
he's just like,
cool.
I mean, I'm also a doctor, but fair enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which raises the question, like, how tough is Watts? Because he was very dismissive of Mercury and Emerald. Like, he was just like, meh. Like, is the dude, like, actually... Well, he has to be one of Salem's lieutenants. He's gotta be pretty tough.
Right, but at the same time, what's really funny to me is, like, we're getting to the point where Mercury, it feels like he's just itching for a fight at this point, because he's trying to take on Raven, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, baby, honey, no. If Neo didn't have a chance, you're basically screwed. Because Neo backed the hell off of Raven. And I'm like, Mercury, you're nowhere near that good. You poor baby.
Yang beat you down, boy.
I mean, technically he threw that fight.
Well, not initially.
Mm.
He threw the ending of the fight, because he could have still kept going. But the early part of that fight, like, that was...
It's tough to know how much was real and how much was them playing around.
I feel like his fight with Pyrrha was real, and if Yang's strength level is anything close to Pyrrha's skill level, I think Mercury would have had a run for his money.
Well, I also feel that there's no way in hell that Mercury would be able to take Raven. Like, even if he had Emerald's help, Raven would take out the two of them no problem. And if Cinder tried to get involved, then... God, I can't remember her name, but the Spring Maiden would get involved as well. And it would basically be the Spring Maiden versus Watts and Cinder until the short amount of time it actually took for Raven to take out the two little punks. And then it'd be a 2-on-2 fight. And I think they'd be pretty evenly matched. The only thing in my mind, the only thing that Emerald and Mercury are good for in a fight against Raven and the Spring Maiden would be, delaying Raven by maybe a couple of minutes, if that.
Not even that. They'd be there and they'd be like, all right, we're going to help. And then Cinder's like, hold my coat. I got this. Hold my jacket. I'll be right back. But
always the fashionista. The fashionista.
This raises the question for me, though, like, does each maiden's power... Like, we saw with Autumn, before Cinder got it, that Autumn can use lightning as well and can control storms, too. But they primarily used fire. So my question is each maiden, like, can they wield the power of all the elements, but they have one specifically that they're very strong with?
Are you trying to say that Cinder's from the Fire Nation?
I mean, from what we saw, her semblance naturally has the combustibility aspect, so fire would be more naturally attuned to what she can use. Maybe
it's it might be that every maiden gets all elemental abilities, but the individual that they are, whichever one they relate to most, like Cinder probably was more aligned with fire to begin with before she got the maiden abilities. So maybe that's why fire is stronger for her. Whereas maybe, I'm sorry, Vernal. Okay, thank you. I was waiting for you to tell me so I would have that, but you let me go for a while.
The first time I didn't
but
say anything. Like,
Vernal may be more inclined to lightning.
Or wind, whichever. I mean, wind makes sense because she's kind of a drifter. Like, the first chance she got her power, she ran with him. She was like, oh, nope, I'm out.
No, Osmond did say that she was doing her duty for a couple of years and then she left.
So she saw some shit and she was just like, nope.
Yeah.
Air Nomad out!
Come on, Vernal, come back. We have to help rebuild the Air Nation.
Only the Avatar, master of all four elements.
Wait a minute. Does that make Ozpin the Avatar?
That makes Ozpin like the turtle that gave the Avatar his
He's
powers.
the lion turtle. He's a lion turtle. Yes.
Yep.
He's a spirit bender.
What was it? I'm trying to think. The way Vernal spoke to Raven while after the confrontation between Cinder and Watts,
Mm-hmm.
leads me to believe that Vernal is gonna fucking betray the shit out of Raven.
Out of
Because
fear
she
of
was like-
Salem, or because she doesn't like the fact that Raven's basically turning her back on people that are part of her family. Like, she doesn't like the fact that Raven is straight out trying to get her brother murdered.
I think it's because of the fact that at this point Raven led their tribe really well for a couple of years, but now, like, within a couple of months, they've been found by Yang and by Salem's people. And on top of that, like Raven spoke for years about not dragging them into that conflict, and now the first time they get caught, she's like, all right, we're in. We're on with Salem. We're going to betray them and run. You know, like, I feel like Vernal is seeing, like, Raven's fear and weakness. And I feel like that's going to influence her decision with the tribe and stuff. Because if Raven's willing to murder her own brother just to run and hide, like, what about the people who actually aren't her blood relation? Like, people who are just in the clan? I feel like that's the thoughts that are going through Vernal's head right now.
Okay.
So
that's pretty interesting. I can kind of agree to that. If
she betrays Raven, I will be so happy. I'll be like, you reap what you sow, bitch. You have... It'll be like the scene in The Lion King. She'll be like, Vernal, please! Long live the maiden. Raven falls into nothingness.
I can definitely see that happening. Not the Lion King part.
Not the Lion King bit.
Yeah, not the Lion King bit, but definitely the Vernal turning on Raven. And if Vernal turns on Raven, where's she going to go? Is she going to hook up with Osmond and his group, or is she going to run off on her own?
I think she might just take over control of the Bronwyn clan and, like, lead them out from under Raven's shit.
Oh, she say so there might be a coup for the clan?
Yeah. Like, full-blown usurping. The one thing I didn't like is this small amount of time we spent with Ozpin and Crow. Like, it felt just forced.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like, oh yeah, Raven's going to check in on Crow and Ozpin to kind of, like, survey the attack or to warn her brother, because she actually does care. And I'm like, why? Like, why would she do that? Because first off, if she appears, that just alerts Crow that something might go down. And second off, if she is trying to warn him, that just confirms all of Vernal's suspicions and will lead to her inevitable betrayal. Like,
curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yeah, it'll be like, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. It'll be like, no, you brought this on yourself.
Maybe if you hadn't been such a bitch the entire time.
Like, I like Raven as a character. I don't like her as a actual plot device, because it feels like
honestly, I feel like we're missing too much backstory with Raven. Like, she's not developed enough for me to actually like her in any aspects. It's just like, all I've learned so far about Raven is that she's just a bitch. That's all I've learned.
This raises
in 2
second
seasons,
question.
that's all I've learned.
When are we getting our Team Stark prequel series?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. When are we gonna have that Team Stark stuff going on?
Because either we need a full flashback episode, or we just need like a spin-off series. And I wouldn't mind that, because seeing young Crow would be like the funniest thing to me. It'd be like,
I hereby demand that it starts off with the first scene being Crow in the skirt.
And you're sure this is cool? Yeah, no, totally. Go for it, man. And Tai Yang's just like waiting for him to.
And then we get to see just how much of an asshole Tai actually is.
Or what?
I mean, we need time with Summer, straight out. That's the real reason we need a backstory, is because we need time with Summer.
I would honestly love to see a prequel thing, because I feel like Crow, like in the earlier bits, they're like, hey, Crow, we're all gonna go out and party. He's like, no thanks, guys. I'm not all about the drinking. And then later on in life, he's just like, my soul is misery. Crow's just like a Boy Scout in high school. He's just like, no, we don't do that.
Well, I mean, it's like they said, love is for suckers and rules are for fools.
I would laugh if that's actually like a line for one of like Crow's friends that he makes in school. It's like, man, love is for suckers and rules are for fools. He's like, I'll remember that if ever I have nieces. Ever I have nieces who need worldly education, I will remember these words.
I think we've covered pretty much all we can with this episode. We did have a lot to discuss, so...
Yeah, a lot more than I was expecting to discuss for just, like, how short the episode was.
We're gonna try and keep up on a regular basis with these. Keep your fingers crossed. We don't want to skip out and have to do another 3-episode wrap-up again, because those are terrible, and nobody likes those. Especially because we have to go back and rewatch everything right before we record, just because in case we miss anything, we need everything fresh in our head. It's so much easier to do with one episode. Just so much. But thank you guys for coming and checking out this episode. Again, guys, if you want to hear these episodes a week early, then make sure to come over to our Patreon, which of course is patreon.com/fairytalepodcast. We need your help. And we've already got several ideas in the works that we're kicking around. And we're going to be putting out more content, hopefully very, very soon. I want to talk about some gaming content. I want to talk about some anime content. I want to talk about like some other nerdy content and maybe some nerdy books and stuff like that. Also, oh my god, the trailer, really quickly guys, if you haven't seen it, as of the recording of this, which is the 10th of December 2017, year of our Lord 2017, long may he reign, Lord Cthulhu. But the trailer, the first official trailer for Ready Player One came out, and that was really, really cool. Gundams are confirmed. They do have Gundams in that series now, and it's awesome. Also, randomly, Tracer? Randomly, they had Tracer? I was like, okay, Overwatch representation. Cool.
Also, another thing, if you haven't seen it, the trailer for Alita Battle Angel was
yeah, I saw that too. That
amazing.
Looked really, really good.
I have not read the manga, so I'm going to read the whole manga before I watch the movie.
I want to talk about that, so maybe we'll do that in an episode coming up, because we want to put out some more content really soon. That is it, and we will get all that early access stuff out to our patrons. So once again, patreon.com/fairytalepodcast. I'm going to have to keep getting used to that. I'm not quite used to it yet. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us. I'm Richie Roberts. I'm here with Walker Hembry. And we just talked about RWBY.
Yeah, we did.